90s, the decade where shows like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Friends aired on TV. Cartoon Network birthed onto the scene, being the first 24-hour channel dedicated to animated shows. Many music genres, such as grunge, Britpop, and hip-hop, were popular along with their diverse fashion, and yours truly debuted in a universe called life. But the best part of the 90s were the video games, with many companies like SEGUE, Capcom, and Nintendo blasting out classics after classics. One company I always think of when it comes to the 90s is Rare, who brought out many titles during this decade like Banjo and Kazooie, GoldenEye, Conker's Bad Fur Day, and Killer Instinct, that have a cult following to this day. But the ones that stand out to me are the Donkey Kong Country trilogy during the Super Nintendo era, as it was one of my earliest gaming experiences and was a series that got me into gaming. I decided to do a series of videos dedicated to the Donkey Kong Country games, starting off with the original, released in 1994. The Kong's Banana Horde gets stolen by the Kremlins during the night, and it's up to Donkey and Diddy to get it back. Like many platformers around the time, the story is simple and is more of a reason for the Kongs to go on an adventure. However, I remember it being one of the first games to use meta humor. Cranky Kong is your optional guide for the game, and he would insult the player constantly on how games were better back in his day, and how he can beat the game without using a knife. I simply love the satire humor and writing in this game, which can be seen in many of Rare's titles. For me, what makes Donkey Kong Country stand out from many other games around that time is how expressive the characters are, and that comes down to the animations. Characters like Mario had a few poses, like a victory peace sign and a death animation, but it mostly came down to a quick sprite change. DJ has his eyes pop out when he's near the edge, he smacks his chest constantly while waiting for the player to input a command, and Diddy throws his hat to the ground and stomps on it repeatedly when he uses a bonus game. The opening intro shows a lot of character too, and is perhaps one of my favourite opening intros to any game to date. You see Cranky Kong playing with his gramophone, playing the opening theme to the arcade classic, and then DJ ambushes the old man with his boombox with his updated version of the track. Not long before, Cranky throws a TNT barrel at DJ. This game feels like an interactive Saturday morning cartoon. I say it is thanks to the silicone graphics and power animator, later retooled as Maya, that were used in many films prior, such as Terminator 2, Judgment Day, that gave Donkey Kong Country its charm. All assets were modeled and animated in these softwares, and later decompressed into a pixelated image, which took ages to render. Around the time, 3D animation was still relatively new, and even Pixar's first commercialized film, Toy Story, wasn't even released yet. So, for the time, this was impressive, and to this day, I say the visuals still yet stunning. The environment designs are also a sight to behold, with some levels standing out visually, like Thunder Hijinks, changing from day to night, Snow Barrel Blast with the snowdrops, and Orangutan Gang with the sunset in the background. The levels are diverse enough, with jungles, temples, factories, and snowy mountains, but I felt the cave-themed levels were a bit oversaturated, especially near the endgame. The player controls both Donkey and Diddy, who are both displayed on the screen, creating a sense of immersion. Both characters are represented as health, so if Donkey gets hit, you switch to Diddy, and vice versa, and if you use both cons or fall into a pit, you use a life. Both Donkey and Diddy play remotely the same, with a few differences, so you don't really need to learn a new playstyle. Diddy is slightly faster than Dante, but has a few disadvantages against certain enemies, while Dante can beat those enemies and can perform a hand slap to discover hidden bananas. In certain levels, you can find animals that assist you, each with their unique abilities. There's Vambi the Rhino, who can trample on enemies and break walls, Under the Swordfish, who can swim with ease and attack enemies underwater, Espresso the Ostrich, who can glide through the air, Winky the Frog, who can jump really high, and Squawks the Parrot, who only appears in one level and is basically a corpse. The animal buddies are not the only thing that makes the levels feel different to one another, as there are plenty of levels that stand out on their own, like Minecart Madness, Lazy Ride on the Minecart, Blackout Basement, which lights go on and off, and Temple Tempest, in which you run away from various beavers on wheels. Each level is designed well for different kinds of players in mind, whether it be speedrunners or people who want to explore for secret areas and extra ditties. Like coins in Mario and rings in Sonic, Donkey Kong Country uses bananas to display where the player can go and discover new things. And even after 25 years, I'm still learning new stuff to this day, but there are a few exceptions where looking for secret locations can be hard to find, like in the second level in the game, where there is no indication that there is a barrel that leads into the bonus room. Exploration and getting MacGuffins is a thing that is common in Rare's library of games, and it started here. Getting these MacGuffins is pretty simple to complete, as you only need to enter the bonus rooms, but the reward is only a different dialogue change in the ending. I would say the game can be challenging for newcomers, but the level design is fair, teaching the players the fundamentals. The only exception where the game can be unfair are the levels Poison Pond, where enemies come at you off screen, making it difficult to avoid, and the previously mentioned Snow Barrel Blast, which is perhaps the hardest level in the game. Snow Barrel Blast is the first level in the ice world, Gorilla Glacier, where the majority of the level consists of spinning barrels and zinners. And while I didn't have a problem with the barrels in any other levels, I always found the speed and timing off, as I either get hit by the zinners or getting blasted off to a pit. That is not the only problem with it, as being the first level in the world, I say it's poorly placed, and with the save point being halfway through and Funty's flight being even further ahead, this is quite a difficulty spike for newbies. To be fair though, around this generation, saving in general was somewhat still new, and many games still relied on passwords or didn't have anywhere to save at all. Thankfully, if you're playing the Game Boy Advance version, you can save and call Funky anytime, and in the Game Boy Color version, the game saves every time you complete a stage. The music for the game was composed by Robin Bean, Evan Fisher, and David Wise. Evan Fisher did the music for the map theme, the Northern Hemisphere, Forest Frenzy, and Voices of the Temple. Besides a few exceptions like Candy Save Room and the map theme, her music is more ambient. David Wise did other tracks too, such as Aquatic Ambience, Gangplank Galleon, and the iconic DJ Iron Swing, which has become the main theme for the entire franchise. Robin Bean only composed Funky's theme, which sounds different to the other tracks, as it was originally designed for Rare's other game, Killer Instinct, before being shifted here. However, it suits Funky's cool and rare attitude. The soundtrack was unlike any other during the Super Nintendo and Mega Drive generation, as the quality is top notch, and the soundtrack really helps the immersion of the environments. It's one of those soundtracks I keep coming back to, whether it be writing, drawing, or just something to listen to. To this day, I still keep coming back to Donkey Kong Country for a quick session, especially since it's a very quick game to complete, even if you are going for a full completion. Being the first game out of the Country series, it's the most simplistic, and does have some issues like the easy boss fights, not just giant versions of common enemies, and a couple of frustrating levels, especially for first timers. But it's easy to learn and hella fun to play, with the benefits of some of the best tunes you will hear. colourful visuals and characters with huge personalities that is still identified with various Jetson today. If you're into platformers, this is the one you need to play. The next GTA discussion is going to be the sequel, which was released a year later, Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Conquest. So I hope you look forward to that.